When companies are recruiting for a data scientist or data analyst, they often want to ask one main question: can you think logically and use data in order to solve real world problems? To do this, recruiters often take two steps. The first step of landing a job in this industry would be what's called an online assessment. You can think of these online assessments as mini quizzes to just test your knowledge on the basics of what it means to be a data scientist. They're typically split up into three different parts. The first part would be coding skills. They want to see if you have the basic coding skills in languages such as Python and SQL. The second part of this would be data interpretation and data thinking. They want to see if you can look at a graph and interpret key findings and what's going on. They want to see if you can explain whether a metric changed or not, etc. The last part would be problem solving and logical thinking. You can think of these as logic puzzles, SAT type problems, just to see if you're thinking critically in order to advance whatever the problem is that they're trying to solve. The second thing that recruiters often do is what's called a technical interview. These are live interviews, often with somebody in the field, such as a data scientist, data engineer, or data analyst. Well, you'll go through those same three categories that you did in the online assessment, except this time it's live. They want to see if you can think critically in front of a person and translate a lot of these technical concepts into consumer digestible language. What that means is oftentimes they'll go through part one, which is the coding problem, right? You'll go through a select Python problem or a select SQL problem, and they want to see if you can think on the spot and answer the question they're asking in the language that they're asking without getting it completely correct. So the key here is not trying to get it completely correct, but rather show them your thinking and your approach. The second part of this, again, is the data and analytics knowledge. They want to see if they pull up a table, if you can select and find the key features in a table that would help them solve a problem, or if they pull up a graph, if you can find key trends in that graph. The third part would be probably basic statistics and probability knowledge, as well as machine learning knowledge based on the role you're actually applying for. A lot of times, if it's a machine learning role, they won't ask you to code out a neural network on the spot, but rather ask you basic questions such as if you understand what overfitting and underfitting is, if you understand how a regression problem works or a classification problem works. For stats and probability, they'll ask you basic probability questions, see if you understand some statistical methods, frameworks, etc. Overall, you can think of these assessments as not a dump all, know all kind of interview. They don't want to test your knowledge and see if you know everything about data science, but rather if you know how to think like a data scientist in order to approach problems and solve them analytically.